Hey everybody, welcome to this video. This video is my February wrap up of what I read in February, which was 4 books actually. One was a DNF, so truly only 3. This is our stack here. I can grab it. This is our stack here, and we're going to run through them all now, and I'll give you a rundown on each one and my ratings and all that sort of thing. I have my journal here so I can just refer to it. Actually there is another book. It was a Netgally book as well. But we're going to start with this one here, Good Girl Complex by Ali Kennedy. It is a first book in a series. This was my read from a group that I have just become involved with, which is Planet Friends book club. And this was our first ever book, which was exciting for the group. Yeah, so it's a Good Girl Complex, and what did I give it? I gave it 4 stars. It was an easy read. When you got to the middle and end, I could not put it down, so I actually jumped ahead and finished it before the time period. I didn't expect some things in the story, but it was well enjoyed. For my 2 challenges, I put it under G for A to Z challenge, and in book bingo, I put it under the word girl in the title. Overall, it was a good story. It kept you reading, absolutely. It was written really well by Ali Kennedy. This was my first read by her. I've actually picked up Bad Girl Reputation to read sometime. It's currently sitting over on my shelf there. It was a recent purchase, so I'll definitely continue with the series. I don't want to give too much away, but there's Mackenzie, who is the character as the good girl, and there's guys involved. Cooper's the main one, and he's sort of made out to be this bad guy, but underneath he's got you know, a good guy, soft personality with him. And his brother is pretty cool as well. I don't want to go too much in the story, but originally they sort of Cooper's friends, they sort of decide to have like a setup to get to Mackenzie in a way, and yeah, the ending on where all that unravels is a bit quick paced. Like, to me, like it could have been more to the ending, and for her to sort of go through all that dealing. But yeah, it was a good read. I enjoyed it. I do recommend it to anyone who likes romance books, definitely. And I'll definitely be reading the second one. And it was really cool, obviously, to do our first book ever in the group as well, and to chat with all my friends in the group about their opinions and everything like that. Yeah, that was super fun. So the book that I finished while that was happening as well was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This was my first Christina Lauren book, and I'll definitely be reading more from her. She just words things really nicely, I found. I gave this one 4 stars as well. I loved the story, word go to ending. And yeah, I'll definitely be reading more by her. For A to Z, I put it under You and Honeymooners, and just ignored it though. And on Book Bingo, I classed it as a book on my shelf that hadn't been read until now. Yeah, I really enjoyed the storyline when they were on the honeymoon that they had to go on because everybody got food poisoning except the Olive and Ethan. So yeah, and just their relationship sort of go from where it was to the middle to the ending of their relationship as well. And yeah, it ended really nicely, and I just really liked the way it was written. I actually listened to the audio of this and just sort of followed through with it as well. So yeah, that was a funky way to do it, I guess. Yeah, so that one was also really good. The next book that I read was a Netgally book. If you don't know what Netgally is a system where you can apply for books that aren't released yet, and you can read them sort of in advance before their release date, and you can give feedback to the authors about their work. So you just sort of run through everything that's on the system and you just request, and then when you get an approved one you just obviously read it and then give your feedback and things in the end. So I've given my feedback already on Goodreads, but I'm also going to do it here and now as well. So you'll see like my tags for Netgally and stuff going on with Instagram and this video. But the book was called Hazel Fine Sings Along, and it was by Katie Weeks. I'm not sure if my picture in my journal will show up, but yeah, that's the picture of the book. If you need to zoom in, then do so. I loved this book. It was just like so perfect for me as a musician. It's also perfect for anybody else as well who loves romance. It's a really good romance story as well, and also growth from a character perspective as well, like within where she is currently with her life and just her growth during the book. So I just said on Goodreads and in my journal, I just said a big thank you to Netgally, author Katie Weeks, and Wattpad Webtoon Book Group for early access to this amazing book. I enjoyed every minute reading this music-based story. It was written very smoothly and it was very difficult to stop reading it. As a musician, I enjoyed the music element parts that kept coming. Some things were unexpected in the story, but it kept us on our toes, and I highly recommend it to anybody. And just a bit of a backlog to the theme, I guess, of the story. It's similar to, I guess, going on like Australian Idol or American Idol or any of those sort of music talent shows, I guess you could say, where contestants are competing against each other. So Hazel is one of those contestants, along with all the other characters and judges and things like that of the book as well. So yeah, just to give you a bit of a overall like theme of the book and how music comes into play. So you get like the judges things happening, and you get like the audition stuff and the weekly commitments to this show from the musicians as well, whether it be practices or performances. and then obviously things happen with their lives in the background as well. It's a really good read. I loved it. Okay, so let's turn my journal page. After all those awesome reads, I was sadly disappointed by this read here. This was picked in my February TBR as one of my books, but I was disappointed and I did DNF it. It's called True Love at the Lonely Hearts Bookshop by Annie Darling. I hadn't read anything by this author before. It was written in 2017. It sounded amazing on the back, like the description and everything, but it was not written well. I did not link with any of the main characters, especially the girl, the main one, Verity, and it just didn't seem to go anywhere quickly. I did read up to, let's see where it was, I did read up to chapter 12, but I stopped there because it just wasn't happening for me. If you do like the book, then that's fair enough, but obviously there's going to be those moments where you yourself, you don't like a book either, and I have learnt from my past experiences, especially in January, where I sort of just kept plodding along with the book, that I should have DNF'd. I learnt to take action in February and actually DNF this book. So there's no review apart from what I have just said now on this book because I DNF'd it. And I do have a DNF section in my journal as well. And that was sadly the first one in there. But yeah, I have learnt my lesson not to push through a book. I've learnt now to just DNF something if it's not happening. I have put myself through quite a few books in that situation. But then to end things off for February, I had an amazing 5-star read, and it was one that I firstly followed along with to my new Audible account as well, and it's one that's been sitting on my shelf for ages, and that is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I loved this so much. It was just really good. So firstly, for the book challenges, I put it our first book as a series for that bingo challenge, and I'll read what I have in my book journal, and then I'll just sort of chat extra if I feel the need to. So I said I really enjoyed this book, loved the storyline, the humour that came through, the characters, everything. I experienced all emotions, happy, sad, the awe moments, and I would definitely read another book in the series. I would recommend, definitely. It is heavy on the love description scenes, so if that's not your thing, then obviously don't venture there, but if you don't mind all that stuff, then definitely pick it up to read it. I've already snuck out and purchased the second book to the series. I haven't hauled it yet, but I did that this week actually. It's part of the Dreamland Billionaire series, and yeah, I'm just really happy that I listened to it and I enjoyed it, and yeah, I just love the storyline and the love aspect storyline throughout it, and it was just really well written by Lauren Asher as well. This was my first book by her. Yeah, so definitely one to read, as well as Hazel Fine Sings Along. as well as my 4-star reads from the month as well, the Honeymooners and the Good Girl Complex. So yeah, but I'll wait this one. Yeah, so they were my reads for February. Thank you so much for joining me in my wrap-up video. I have already put on my March TBR, so just do a bit of a flick back to find that video. I'm doing quite a lot of reading this month to try and do a couple of challenges, and also my Planner Friends book club read as well. So if you haven't watched that yet, backtrack and watch that. But yeah, thank you for joining me in this one here. If you want to follow me on Goodreads, I always put my name that it's under in the description box. If you also want to follow me on Instagram as well, then that is also in the description box as well. Upcoming book videos for March are a little library tour, which is super exciting because it's been months and months since the last one. What else? There's also another week in the life of a book lover video as well, coming in the month. What else? Probably another book haul, because as I briefly mentioned, I already got the second one of this series over that way. So I've already started collecting books for the month, so there'll definitely be another haul. But yeah, apart from that, it'll just be fun reading things. Yeah. Oh, and to update you as well, I did see the movie The Man Called Ove, and I absolutely loved the movie as well as the book. So yeah, definitely recommend doing that if you like that kind of thing. But yeah, I'll finish up here. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe, thumbs up, comment, all that kind of thing, and I'll catch you all in the next video very soon. Bye.